So
I know, and also the reviewers
weird...
when it came out, they thought he was basically it was a Stallone vehicle because he's a pathetic schlub who needs a new career. That's completely unfair the way way of portraying this.
Stallone is so good in this
his
movie.
best acting. It's his best acting.
Yeah, yes.
However,
it is the best thing I've seen.
He has the unfortunate. It is unfortunate that he is surrounded by guys doing even better work, in my opinion.
But that's a typage thing.
Fucking De Niro.
I know,
De Niro,
but thing is,
Keitel, like everybody in this, I think is like bringing their A+ game. This is a weird noir Western.
Yeah.
It's a Western.
Stallone is showing up doing 1976 first half of the movie Rocky. And I think about like, what if they put Pruitt Taylor Vince in that role, or somebody like because that he might have been the weak link for me.
But it's perfect. Okay, check this out. All right, we got Stallone, who's known for doing action films and doing this like Rocky. He's kind of a lunkhead. You know, he's a physical presence like Schwarzenegger. He's there. He's impressive, and so he's up against these complete slick A-list New York actors. And the thing is that parallels the characters. You know, he's this, right. And that's the thing. That's what makes it great.
Well, yeah, he's supposed to be a little slow.
He put on 40 pounds of pancake weight for this movie.
I read about the pancake thing. Yeah. But it was great because you take this is kind of like good casting.
Nero never recovered from
Well, this movie, I said earlier, like Something Wild is way better than I remember. This movie is better than I remember, but less so than something like there's something about it that I think keeps it from being great.
It's the editing.
And I can't I think that like how the Howard Shore music is good, except when it's not good. Like it's
very overdone at places.
Like that the scene where Stallone loses his hearing, that there's music that was a bad call. Like there were certain things that Mangold did making this where it's like
it's the editing. The editing of this movie.
Probably made a bad call on that. There's a couple of bad calls where he zigged when he should have zagged. I think the De Niro voiceover is not. It kicks in, and then for the ending, and then you get like so it's like almost like this false ending, and then we get that weird coda that's completely pointless. Okay, he's back at his job. Okay, fine.
No, I disagree. The coda is right. The coda is the right ending. Yes, it didn't change his life, but he did the right thing.
Right, but. Like,
and now he's got self-respect. It doesn't.
It's like no one is above the law, and then like the ba-ba-bam.
That sucked.
What's the line? It's the part in the movie where he says, "If I saw her go into the water again, I would think about going in," and that's the thing.
The best thing I ever did in my life, and I would think about it.
And he didn't think about going in when this all happened, because he thought he would get what he wanted out of it at the end, and he didn't.
Right.
And like that's the whole.
That's a great fucking line in that movie.
It's the tragedy of this movie is that you have this guy who's given up. He's completely like, fuck, whatever. I'll just deal with these people and all of this shit and blah blah blah. And then he gets that moment to redeem himself, and he takes the moment to redeem himself, and he thinks that he's going to get the thing that he's always wanted out of this, which is to be a cop. Right. I'm a sheriff. I'm going to be a cop, blah, blah, blah. And what happens? He doesn't get to.
Right.
Back in his
like he jumps into the water again.
Yes.
And he ends up deaf again. Like
I agree. Everything you just said, I agree with. I don't know that there were choices made in the last 5 minutes of this movie that maybe done differently would have done a more effective job of what you just said.
And what came out,
I mean, you could have done it with a conversation instead of voiceover.
Something, yeah.
What came out first, this film or Saving Private Ryan?
Ryan was 98. This was 97.
Okay, because that subjective deaf thing, the ringing in the ears deal, and the muffled thing, did it first, and
it was great. Had they left it, done what Private Ryan did, which is no dialogue, no sound effects.
Well, you profoundly can't hear.
Instead, we got music and gunshots.
But you only get a couple of gunshots. Like you don't get the gunshot when he shoots him with the shotgun. Do you even get the gunshot when he shoots him through the car window?
I think
you get the gunshot when he gets shot in the arm.
Yeah, it would have been more effective quiet.
I think when he gets shot, when what's his name, comes out from behind the house and shoots him in the shoulder, and you get that boom as he gets hit in the shoulder. I think that's really good. I think that part of it, and then you have the blood spray because they used a real squib on it, so there's just the blood spray. That
the
comes
blood
out.
goes really
Squibs were a little much. The squibs were like 1970s.
No, I love it, but someone gets shot and they lean over and it just pours out of him. That just, that looked. It's a little bit silly, but it's also feels pretty real.
Well, the bullet, the blood spray doesn't come from the front; it comes from the back. Everybody knows that.
All right.
Chris, that shot behind you, man. I was laughing and cheering. I had forgotten.
This is the Han Solo showing up to nail Darth Vader.
Yeah, pretty much.
Totally. And since we this is the Liotta show, I love the casting in this. In that Ray Liotta is usually a very imposing presence in a movie. He's very serious, and he's usually a competent dude. And he's such a loser in this movie, and he's
a shithead.
He's
like
a
Jared
cokehead.
That line that was so 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know, it's so good. But you know what thing is, with the losers seek their own level, so it made sense he was staying on Stallone's couch.
Absolutely. No. They were two peas in a pod. But
how many times is there another carton of Marlboros next to him? Like it's just
every
like
single scene, pretty much.
Right. It's So again,
Sheila told me he smoked so much, Liotta, that he had it written into his contract that he would only play characters who smoked.
Right.
Is that what killed him?
Well, he
didn't help.
Heart, right?
It didn't help. Yeah, give me that.
It didn't help.
also, I think all the coke he did probably didn't help either. But I obviously picked both of these movies because Ray Liotta. And I just wanted to pick movies where Liotta isn't the main character. Sure. Because there's, we've everybody's seen Goodfellas, obviously. We watch Narc for the show, I just think it's so impressive to see somebody who can do so much as a background character or a secondary or tertiary, even in this movie character. And when he shows up and he pulls this gun out, it's the first time you're like, oh, this guy's worth something. Like the movie does a redemption arc for him under the water for the entire thing.
Where he's on the freeway.
Right.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, pretty much. But he almost gets redeemed too late. Remember, he goes to New York City and De Niro just chews him out. Says, "You had your fucking chance, man.
Right?
You could have been a cop." And it's like, because it's neat because you almost never see that kind of thing happen in movies where you think he's not only timed out, he's being told he timed out.
Yeah.
He's like, just give up, and he just doesn't do it. It's neat. And
no, the Malik Yoba just like picks up De Niro's other half of the sandwich and starts eating it, and it's just
which was apparently they improv the whole thing. They're talking about the scene while they're having lunch. Like they just leave the sandwiches in the shot. They just did it. nobody that's again, it's one of those things where it's like neither of them give a fuck anymore, man. Like, they're just checked out.
Go find the dead guy and come back because that's the only way anyone's going to care.
They're not willing to do anything, but he does. The De Niro character does say after Stallone walks out, it's like, we might have to reopen the case.
Right.
Also, this is like casting overload. You start out with like Goodfellas, and you got this kind of a group of people in here, including
Falco just gets dropped in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it's a minor character.
She comes back at the very end for a second. So you find out that she's having the affair with him.
I think there's about 20% too much plot in this movie.
Maybe.
And then the whole thing with Annabella Sciorra's character, she was having an affair with, her husband was having an affair with Keitel's wife. He's 20 years older than him. Why? He's married to Annabella Sciorra. Why is he having an affair?
Don't you think we were owed a scene? Did I miss the scene where she finds out her husband's dead?
No, I don't think we're owed. I don't think we're owed that because it's on
the
cover of the newspaper, and then they go to
she wasn't that upset. It's like that says a lot too.
Well, no, but it's like that felt conspicuous by its absence to me. Just the same.
The funny thing I remember, just in terms of the casting, this film, of course, rolled into Sopranos and hired almost everybody in it to be in the Sopranos, almost the entire cast, but maybe except for
I think it's because there are certain actors who aren't based in LA.
Yeah, well,
they
that's
were all
yeah,
New York
Jersey
Mhm.
nexus. It's an easy one to do, right? The thing is that threw me, and this is like because Sopranos kind of went reverse this film out, is that the big mob boss who was in charge of everything, who bought everybody their houses was they showed his picture over and over. It was Tony Sirico, that Paulie Walnuts from The Sopranos,
Right?
Yeah,
and I kept expecting him to do a cameo.
Spirit animal.
Yeah,
He's never in the film.
He's
right?
never in the film.
He's only
Yeah.
in the film.
With
He's
this-
only in the film as a picture.
I know, it's
Yeah,
hysterical.
and he's mentioned in the radio broadcast or
I
TV
know,
broadcast
it's
at
so
the end.
weird. I
that he-
expected this guy to make a full appearance. He never did.
By the way, Annabella Sciorra is fucking amazing.
He's
this.
great.
God damn. She's another one of those actresses who just got completely like shit canned by Hollywood. And like, I know she's in like TV shows and stuff now.
I wonder
Yeah,
why.
It's
but
just
it's
like,
she's always great.
yeah, no,
Always
and
great.
I
Anytime
think
you see her in something.
everybody in this movie was bringing their A+ game. I think
Yeah.
Stallone is trying so hard to.
This is Stallone's A+ game.
Yeah.
But it's like this is the equivalent of like when Charlize Theron did Monster, or like, you know, it's like I'm gonna go slum it to get some credit, like to just reboot.
Yeah,
get
except
some
Charlize
credibility.
Theron
And he
killed-
does it. He nails it. I think
Except
he's
Charlize-
great.
Charlize-
I don't know.
Theron
I don't
killed
know.
One
Monster.
expression.
Yeah.
You did.
It's
I mean, like,
glum.
when I was thinking the whole time, like, you were trying so hard to be not Sylvester Stallone right now.
He's a little too well built for how kind of chubby he's supposed to be.
I guess. Like,
Like-
he's great. The problem is he is so outclassed every scene he's in because everybody else is amazing.
Yeah.
Even when they're delivering dialogue that's not like perfect, like they're fucking crushing it.
Robert Patrick can somehow act past that mustache.
Yeah, that was a neat trick.
Michael Rappaport is great in. I mean, like, everybody's good in this.
Also, we had Michael Rappaport and Noah Emmerich in the same movie. I thought they were the same guy.
Well, Rappaport was also on Homicide, and we have to give all the credit in the world to Homicide because
That's
that's
true.
just the fucking best show ever made.
What was John Spencer on?
That also
The West Wing.
David
West
Chase,
Wing, that's
he's-
right.
Oh, yeah,
By the way,
yeah.
his character in the West Wing was also named Leo.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Oh,
right.
Leo Krasky. Oh, that's interesting. But that's good stuff. And Janine Garofalo threw me as a total surprise.
Garofalo,
Again, underutilized. And
Another person who got shot out of a cannon by Hollywood.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
She talked shit about George Bush and
That's the end of
the
her,
Iraq
yeah.
War, and that was the end of her. Just
Yeah.
no, she was great in all the movies. I mean, she did a little Village comedy years ago that I really liked, like a little, like on the
Cats and Dogs.
Truth About Cats and Dogs.
Yeah,
and
no, that
Mystery
was great.
Men,
I love
and,
that.
You know, had a good arc. She had a good arc going.
her moment in Half Baked is excellent.
Yeah, it's very
She's
good.
the only creative when she's high person in Half Baked.
It's like, it's not their fault. It's like still Schwarzenegger tried to do this a couple times. Stallone did it here. Nicholson, you know, like every once in a while, it's like, no, man, it's still fucking Jack Nicholson. I don't care who you think you're playing. Like they're
About Schmidt. Is that what you're thinking of?
although I love that movie. I just
The other one where
there's
he's the
certain actors
detective.
who cannot transcend who they are.
Right.
Now,
John Wayne.
every once in a while,
John Wayne.
Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder would be a rare exception.
Or
Most of the time,
Magnolia.
it's fucking
Magnolia,
Tom
he's got some range. I think
Magnolia.
He's got
Eyes
the-
Wide
yeah.
Shut.
I don't think Stallone had the range to be able to do
No.
this guy. Like, if you put Pruitt Taylor Vince in this movie from Heavy,
The one
And
reason I
I
disagree
might have
with
liked
you,
it more.
The one reason I disagree with you about that is Oscar. He's so good in
Oh, I
Oscar.
love Oscar.
Yeah.
He's so good. Like that's him actually acting.
I haven't
You
seen
want
that.
to quick tip, Tad? Next time you watch Oscar,
Your imagination caps on for a second, and imagine if Freddie Heflin, Sylvester Stallone's character, was played by Vincent D'Onofrio.
This would be the greatest movie ever.
Oh,
made.
Or,
It would
as
probably be
Chris
the greatest
said,
movie ever made. It
All
would
the
like-
shots would be like this.
yeah, I know, but he would, yeah,
well, this is probably when you were on the when you were off in the ether, Scott. Oh, he froze up again.
no, I'm here.
What? Oh, he's just not moving.
Just keep.
Will you
waving
move
your
around a little
hand.
bit, please? Yes, keep moving your hands. Yeah, well, you were probably off the call, but Scott said maybe it should have been Pruitt Taylor Vince from.
I said
Heavy.
that. But
I heard
I mean, Chris said.
I said that, but yes, Vincent D'Onofrio.
Wait,
But no,
I
but
just-
because he's out, he's higher in the list.
I don't know that Stallone, despite his admirable effort, was the right guy for this role.
I will disagree
Laurence
because of,
Olivier.
I will disagree because of Scott's reason.
Come back from the dead.
Which is that the casting
Well,
parallels the story.
It does. That's the thing
The
about
respectability of these characters is a complete echelon above Stallone.
Yeah.
And same with the actors.
It adds a weird level. There's a kind of double layered pathos going on.
But
You feel sorry for the
Stallone-
character, and you feel sorry for
Stallone's one of
Stallone.
the most successful movie stars in cinema history. And he's trying to play this schlubby guy.
Schlubby loser, yeah.
And I couldn't connect. I couldn't connect.
Also, D'Onofrio would have gained like 95 pounds for this
Sure.
movie. He wouldn't have stopped at 40.
And he
No, he
would
would
have
have
done
stopped
it
at
with
40.
steak and
But he would still be a
potato.
lot of pancakes
I
when
mean,
he did this movie. But
It's
he would be
still
able to stand up to these guys.
Rocky and Travis Bickle.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Jim, you've been very quiet.
I liked it. I liked it a lot, but if you do, there's not much to say.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this
I
movie's
liked
full
it.
of great acting.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
I
do
like the
this movie.
script. I like the locations. I thought were cool. It was just good.
Fort Lee and somewhere else down there, but it's a fictional town,
Yeah.
apparently.
They
Yes,
do a
yes,
good job of
It is a fictional town. Yeah.
they do a good job of keeping the bridges in the shots. There's even one out Stallone's window, like
Yeah.
always
Yeah, yeah.
reminding you where you are and where you aren't.
You aren't the real place. That real place is across the river.
Right.
Well,
I love that I
I
could
told
always
Tad
see
when
that.
I came in for the pre-game show that I thought he picked these two movies not because of Ray Liotta, but because of the George Washington Bridge.
We did get 2 Holland Tunnel scenes or Lincoln Tunnel scenes. I'm not sure which one, but he's got 2 of them, one for each
He's
movie.
got two, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Also,
God,
the
what's
accent
that
of-
movie Stallone did where that
I New Yorked the fuck out of this. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Stallone's stuck in the fucking bridge in the tunnel. What was that
Oh, and
called?
it floods, right?
Yeah.
Daylight.
Daylight.
Also, the accident at the beginning on the George Washington Bridge, that was impressive.
Mhm.
That whole scene is just
That was
it's like
staged so well.
what a shit show, man.
I know. It was just
Fuck.
And they really ran those cars into each other.
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Like,
they were
that's
messing around,
not fucking CG. That's
No,
just
no.
bam.
Yeah.
The water tower was all CG
Yes, it was.
and a set built in Hollywood. And
Ah.
No, I like this movie despite everything, whatever issues I have.
I'm picking nits because I think this is a really good movie.
I'm
I like
picking
it.
nits,
same here.
and it's
I enjoyed both of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a very
ditto.
enjoyable film. And I'm surprised I never saw it. A big thumbs up. Liked it very
Hey.
much.
Oh, all right.
Nicely done.